So, moving on, lack of accountability. I truly believe that people in this country, and not so much just this country, but this world, in this day and age, in our society, have a lack of accountability for things in their life. They no longer accept responsibilities for their actions. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that people nowadays just don't care. They just do what they want, and they don't think there's any consequences. And I want to use a personal example on this one. Last night, I'm at work, and I monitor traffic for my job. I move people around. I reallocate vehicles to different spots for viewing purposes. And I came across two guys who were pissing outside their vehicle. There's a bathroom 50 feet away. But they were so fucking lazy that they started to piss right then and there, and had complete disregard for the fact that there were other people around them. No one in the direct vicinity, but there were kids walking around, there were people moving around, there were people still coming in, and they had no regard. So I called them on it, and I kicked them off the premises, because that's my job, and a job I do take seriously. And the whole time they're going like, can't you cut us a deal? Can't you just do this? And I'm like, no, I can't cut you a deal, because you broke the rules. You were being indecent, and you're the ones who fucked up and got caught. And now they're trying to weasel their way out. And I can respect the weaseling, because a lot of us do it, and that's just how it goes.
Man, I want you to say right now to the fucking to the stream for Dame Pesos, I want you to say, I am sorry I am a soy-filled bitch, and flagged your fucking videos.
I'm sorry I'm a soy-filled bitch and flagged your videos. I'm currently watching Cog's channel right now, his live stream on YouTube, and just thought I'd make my own video because, yeah, this thing has gotten really insane with Matt. He's already down to, as we speak, 152,936 subscribers. So, a couple things I wanted to add to this. One thing that you guys might have seen my video earlier about like how I assume Matt actually took when he took his time in that first live stream and he was found out, what I assume he did. And again, I don't flag anybody, so I couldn't use mine. Wow, this Cog is making a lot of money. I keep hearing that little meme there, whatever it is. Anyways, so Matt decides that he wants to write this open letter on a failing platform, Tumblr, basically just to say that he did what he needed to do. He apologized, and during this apology, and then he decides to post this apology on Tumblr, where nobody's going to really see it. His core fan base won't see it. His core fan base knows him on YouTube, which is where he should be putting the apology, not Tumblr. In addition, it didn't highlight specifics. It was a very corporate sounding apology, like maybe he hired a writer of a PR of Boeing for like 30 minutes to write him up a little pay, 3-paragraph read for people. Anyways, I wanted to talk about a couple of things, including that letter there, but I want to go ahead and start off with this. I just noted that Matt had initially said that he was suicidal during that August 9th live stream. And when he said he was suicidal, he said it was last summer. So that was summer 2017. So, June, July, August, September-ish, I would assume that's what his summer months would be around, at least for Phoenix. And so with this, he also mentioned that he was out boulder hopping or boulder shopping with his, or he got these boulders for free from a farmer in Washington, and he was doing that all day. People who lie tend to give excuses like that. And then they'll provide evidence, like he did in his, I don't know where he put this image of the boulders that he got, and I'm like, okay. And I don't know who said it in the kill stream, but somebody said it looks like Mundane Matt's unmarked grave. That was pretty funny. But he posts that picture and he says he was out boulder shopping, whatever, with his daughter and his wife. And he said 8-month-old daughter. So that means his daughter was born in January. That means his daughter was born January-ish, I would assume, maybe December, I don't know, somewhere around there, since it's August right now. And with that, his wife was pregnant, obviously, for 9 months, so she must have known around March, April, May-ish. So are you telling us, Matt, that you were suicidal after you found out that your wife was preggers? I have no idea. Were you thinking like you were didn't know how to handle that kind of chaos, that kind of, and not chaos in a bad way, but the chaos that family brings, being a new father and all? You were nervous? I don't know, but to say that you were suicidal during that time, instead of actually feeling motivated to, you know, instead of manning up and being motivated to try to provide for your daughter, that's gonna speak volumes in the future about what your priorities are. I mean, it seems like it was more your pride, your fear, and yourself. And so that, you know, it's another showcase. It's another showcase of your character, and not in a good way. So, with those pushed aside here, you know, Matt feels like everything is going the way that he wants it to. You might be getting rid of, you might be keeping some of your audience that's going to be oblivious to all this, but there are a lot of people commenting on all your videos. I'm going to say about 90+% on all your recent videos, regardless of what subject you post. They're distrusting you. They're how upset they are of you, and you're doing everything wrong in this. For a guy that wrote a book in social media, a social media presence, and how to be successful in it, you sure as hell are not doing a very good job of addressing the things how you need to. Now, I'm gonna take an example that you were also part of this year, the Kilroy free speech event. Now, Kilroy, I give them the benefit of the doubt, and I think the public already knows my stance on that. I neutral going into it, gave them the benefit of the doubt after I saw firsthand, you know, some of the things that the volunteers were having to deal with, and how they handled it, you know, accordingly. So now, with all of that said, they handled Kilroy a lot better than you did. A lot better than you did when in regards to your personal situation here of everything coming out. Now, if you guys haven't watched, oh, and with that, I mean, that's very, very sad, Matt. I mean, own up to it, man. I mean, just don't grow the pair of boulders that you picked up at a river farm or whatever it was that you said. Use your own pair of fucking balls if you have them, and man up. Like you said in your, oh God, what is it? That other channel that you had with like 16 subscribers. You basically said this.
Because they were wrong. They got busted and they didn't want to admit that they were wrong. Now tell me, if that doesn't sound like someone you know or something that's kind of going on in our system right now. People don't want to accept the fact that they're wrong, that they fucked up. This goes for you, me, everybody. We all fuck up, and sometimes we don't want to admit it, and that's how things are. But really, you have to buckle down and just go, I am sorry, I'm wrong, ask for forgiveness, and try to fix the situation. And that's what's happened to our country. Nobody wants to take the hard road in fixing it.
So now with that, I mean, like, why don't you just man up, grow a real pair of balls, and take ownership of these things. Take ownership of the actions. You know, take ownership of hey, you know, I flagged these people, but not only the flags, Matt, you also tried to tarnish like my reputation. You know, I'm not sure what for. I can only come up with assumptions, but you've never addressed that as well. So I'm not expecting an apology, and I'm not asking for one, but it would be nice to have one, at least for you to address it. The only reason why I'm finding so much excitement and enjoyment of watching all of these live streams in regards to you being such a hypocrite, especially again to your old 2009 videos, is that you're doing completely opposite of everything that you say that comes out of your mouth. Everything that you say that you are showing that you're not. And if you haven't done so already, go and watch my previous 2 videos. But realistically, if you want to get an idea of what I thought Matt was doing during the 10 to 20 minute moment where he was in complete silence, just fiddling with his computer, not knowing what to do during the initial live stream where everybody was telling him to share his desktop, watch my very last video right before this one, and you'll see what I assume he did. Nobody asked him, maybe somebody asked him to refresh the page and he never did, but the page was never refreshed. So anyways, if you watch that video, you'll understand what I'm talking about, and that's what I think he did. You know, it was a way to cover his tracks. Now, you, Matt, you can definitely prove me wrong and go ahead and post a video of you on your page there. And again, here's the other thing. I mean, you have somebody in the YouTube community, directly in YouTube, that could probably help you out with that and just eliminate some of your stuff in a matter of time. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works with YouTube and whatnot, but I do know that temporarily editing web pages on a browser, you clear out all your work, again, because it's temporary. It's only available on your browser for you to see, for when you're building websites and you want to see functions, or when you're trying to edit page speeds, if you want to see if there's any queries that are messing up or issues that are with your website. If you're a web developer, you know what I'm talking about. But people also use the web development tools just to kind of, you know, edit some stuff out and here and there, you know, make funny pictures on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. But Matt, I think you know what you did. You probably already just covered up very important ones that you knew you were going to get hammered more for flagging than the ones that you left there, because you knew you were caught. You knew you were caught, and you're just a sneaky snake, dude. I don't know why you're like this. I mean, you obviously had a fan base that was supposedly loyal to you. Now, you know, you can't. I mean, see, look at even some of my work is going ahead of your channel before it pops up on YouTube. There's all these people's works that videos that pop up first also before even your channel suggestion comes up. So obviously we're covering you better than you cover yourself. So if you want some good advice, man, I mean, you need to just start owning up to these things. Apologize to these people by name, specifically state what you did to them, and move forward. You can end all this chaos. You can end all this chaos. I mean, maybe it's working out for you financially, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think that you're paying a hefty price here, and you're gambling. I mean, you're a family man. You shouldn't be gambling like this. If this is your only job, if I had a kid and I had my job here, look, I take care of myself. You know, I have my kids, my pets, and my partner. But you know, I take care of myself here and do my own thing. And I'm my own man. But if I had a kid and I was responsible for a life like that, you know, you'd probably take care of that. I would probably take care of that kid 100,000 times more than I do my pets. I'm just saying, you know, it doesn't sound like you're putting them as your priority. You're joking in all this. This is your priority job, and you're not taking it seriously. You need to start talking to some, I don't know, freelance PR person. Find out what you should do it, because you're apparently not good at this portion. I mean, look, I'm watching COG right now.
I read this like this morning. Like I was half asleep and I read this and I was like, oh my god. I would like to also address the accusations that I have been leading a mass fight. I would this is,
and that's the other thing, Matt.
This is Matt selling damage.
You are. Nobody can believe anything you say at this point, unless you apologize. Even when you apologize, you're going to have a lot of time before people are going to fully forgive you. So when you say that, like in your open letter here on your Tumblr page, you say that you're not flagging anybody. How can anybody take you seriously? You kept swearing to God, swearing to God, swearing to God, swearing to God on the first stream, and then you got found out, and then you kept swearing and swearing and swearing. Nobody can believe you. You cried wolf too many times, dude. You cried wolf too many times, and it's I don't wish you any bad will, man. You know, I think all I expect out of you, or would hope that you would do, is take ownership of your actions. You don't want to. You don't want to. And that falls on you. You can't blame anybody else but you for your faults here. So, you know, that's my 2 cents. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you guys feel for Matt? Is there any remorse you have for him? If you do, if you do and you haven't watched his live stream, that live stream on August 9th on the kill stream, watch that first and then comment. However, if you're not a type of person who, and that's the other thing, there's a lot of people who are backing Matt on this, even after seeing all the evidence, even after seeing that he did all this, and these people are saying, oh well, you know, those people, they're no good lowlives that are all against Matt and whatnot, and put him out there in the open like this. You guys are no better than Hillary Clinton supporters. So you're saying that this man, Mundane Matt, I use that term loosely, because he was found out by people you consider lower than, that somehow Matt should be vindicated. You're not letting him you're not putting him into the spot of putting him accountable to his actions. How does that benefit the man? How does that benefit your credibility as well? When you say, oh no, we can let him get away with this, but then your fans are going to put two and two together when they start seeing, oh, you know, we just saw this video and you're backing up Matt, but we don't, because we see, I'm going to say 8 times out of 10 that will say this, but we don't back him up because we see that he was lying this whole time, and he lies about all these other things. He lied about me, and so now I'm following this person over here, or these people over here who are backing him. I'm done with everybody. I'm done with all you people. That's what's going to happen. You're going to ruin your credibility. You really find out when people are open-minded, when they're willing to question their friends and their family and themselves. You find out when people are very selfish and scared and weak when they allow this kind of shit to happen and flourish and don't address the problem. It's like when you confront a crackhead. Are you going to tell a crackhead, oh no, it's not you, and you're fine. No. If you love that person and it's somebody dear, or even not dear to you, if you just feel very sorry for this person, you have a humane heart, you're going to want to go ahead and go and help that person and say, you know what, you need to cut that, let's go see what we can do to help you out. Nobody's doing that here, and Matt is going on a free fall. This is all, I mean, all of his supporters and himself, he's primarily responsible, but all of his supporters who have already argued with me on Twitter are the ones that you know, are to blame for him not progressing out of this phase. Obviously, he's priority number one to deal with himself, but you know, you guys, supporters of him, are not giving him any, doing him any justice. But those of us like me and all the people that are pressuring him to put these apologies out there, to change, to be very sincere about these things, and to let him know that it's going to take years, months, if not years, if not a decade, to possibly gain your credibility back. And with all the damage that you did with all the people beforehand, Matt, that's probably a very small price to pay in the long run, because you have hurt people along the way, and you've done damage to them, and you don't really have a heart for it. You have more or less a desire just to keep yourself afloat, even if it means, by all means necessary, even if it means putting other, you know, content creators down, which you say, you know, oh, you know, YouTube is not YouTube, but you say, you know, nobody should censor anybody. Nobody should censor anybody. It's very bad and whatnot. So let's all just let's all get along. And I might dislike your views, but I'm going to go ahead and support your rights to say them. You don't, Matt. You don't. And that's the whole problem. You're a huge hypocrite. Get over it. Change yourself, or you're going to see yourself in a constant free fall. This is not going to go away. I thought it would go away after a week. You know, like normally, you know, like all those people in February, the March for Lives people, they're done and gone. I already knew that was going to happen. Like Candace Owens, you know, Candace Owens is on her own free fall at this point. You know, all of the mainstream people who are actually sheep, who don't like to question things, who actually like a poised figure in front of them telling them, oh yeah, we back you, I back you, I back you. They might like her, but in the long term, for honesty and credibility, she's not genuine. She is not genuine. And, you know, people who are genuine are the ones that are going to be lasting. You should know this. You're in the media. You've been in media more than me. I'm not even in media. I have my own little channel, and I do my own thing. And you know what? I'm only blunt. I'm just a blunt guy. I'm nothing big. I'm shit. But I'm at least trying to be as honest as possible. I could definitely say I'm a lot more honest than you. At least to the point that I would point out your flaws, and I would expect the same, that you do the same for me in return, and make sure that I can learn from stuff like this. If this is the route that you want to go and you want to be fake, just like all the media that you coverage, by all means, go for it, man. We're just trying to help you out. You know, some of the people out there want to see you fall. I do or don't. I don't care. It's totally your decision. But I'm just letting you know that you're doing it all wrong. Anyways, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you feel sorry for Mundane Matt? Do you not? Do you think he should be apologizing? Do you think that we should be apologizing for our actions and for the continuation of this coverage? Right now on Cog's channel, he's at Mundane Matt is at 152,928 subscribers. I think he was at his peak at about 161,000, like 500 or something. So, anyways, leave your comments below. Peace.
A lot of customers think that they're right 100% of the time, and I have a word to those people out there: fuck you, you're wrong. And at my particular job, I don't take your shit, because I am paid to not take your shit, and I'm very good at what I do. That's my gloating, and I'm done.